Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. So, let's start off with Nicole for a minute. Here's the thing. I know lately I've been dumping on Nicole like there's no tomorrow. I don't think that Nicole is a bad character. I just think that she does some really stupid ish. And going to Sloane's place to confront Eric about his bad choices is just like, what are you doing? You barge on in her place. You tell her to butt out of a conversation when you're literally standing in her living room. And then you proceed to sit there and start judging Eric. Oh, what are you doing? You're starting fights. You're hooking up with her. By the way, she actually sat there and slut shamed her later on. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I remember when Sammy came back, when I first started watching it. And she would constantly sit there and say things like, oh, you used to sit there and do porn. You used to be a porn star. You used to be a porn star. And she would constantly sit there and slut shame her. And it was like, are you kidding me? I was like, boo, I haven't sit there, because I'm like, when I first got introduced to her, I was like, yo, already it's been 5 minutes. She's annoying the hell out of me. Okay? So the fact that Nicole actually had the audacity to sit there and call Sloan a slut is like, are you kidding me? I mean, listen, she has no room to sit there and judge anybody on their sexual prowess at all. Like, I don't know what actually drove her into doing that, but I'm just saying, like, well, you have a background too. Um, just sitting there like, oh, I care about you, this, that, and the third. Well, no one asked you to show up there. And for her to stand there with an attitude was just like, you are so wrong on so many levels. So Ava plans on blowing up EJ at the funeral, right? She's all like, oh, I'm gonna get Nicole as well, because she's not there talking to herself like a nut job. And I'm just looking at this whole thing, and I'm like, you do realize that Johnny's gonna be there too, right? The one person in Salem that actually still rock with you when your whole when your whole life was practically falling apart, who stood up to EJ for you. Like I don't understand how she's all like super happy and excited, and I'm like, so I guess killing Johnny is just it's just not gonna matter at this point, right? You're just that far gone. Um, Now she's at the funeral home after she finished talking to herself. She's at the funeral home. She runs into Johnny for a little bit, but later on she leaves. Um, I guess this is some sort of sad attempt at humor by Days of Our Lives with this whole nun chick. It ain't working. Okay, it's not working, and I don't like it. And yeah, I saw those two kiss. Brady thought that he was kissing Kristen because Kristen not that long ago was all up in his face, and he realized he was kissing a nun, and she's all freaking out, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. And honestly, tell you, I really didn't care for that scene. I guess there's some people that find it funny. Good for them. It's just not working on me. Um, Kristen tries to go to EJ's place, but EJ's just like, you need to kick rocks. I want nothing to do with you. The way you treated my mother, and this, that, and the third. He's just bringing up all the past and stuff like that. He's like, I don't want you there. So leave. That was the nice way of me sitting there saying that. He pretty much just like, he wanted her gone. Um, and so, after a while, she wound up leaving. I'm just like, well, you should have called. You should have called instead of just showing up there, expecting to be like, no, it's cool. I really want you to. You know how EJ is. You know how you are. So, of course, it didn't work out. EJ wound up meeting up with Brady, and, Brady was like, yo, listen, I had to pretty much cancel a shoot. I lost a lot of money. If you weren't my brother, I would have fired you. Eric was like, okay, cool. I'll make it easier for you then. I quit. I'm like, you still do owe Sloan that money, right? Like, I just I don't know if your check is going to clear if you don't actually have a job? How is that going to work out for you? So here's a plan that's never really going to work, but it's going to be really stupid for them to try. Marlena is like, I need, she wanted John to sit there and befriend her, gain her trust, and eventually she'll let down her guard and tell her secrets of what she has over Brady. And I'm just like, why would she do that? At first, John was like, oh, I don't know if I could sit there and seduce her. And, Marlena's like, that's not where we're going. Why was that the first, why was that the first plan that you have in mind? But I just don't understand how John is going to sit there and convince Kristen to sit there and let down her guard. I mean, yeah, he comes in there, he gives her a beer, and Smith to talk about, oh, me and Marlena got in a fight over you. Like, really? I guess you just think that this chick was just born yesterday, right? There's a reason why she stayed out of jail as long as she did. But y'all want to sit there and try to think that she's Boo with a fool, so good luck with all that, because I don't really see how any of that's going to work out. And yeah, like I said, towards the end, Johnny winds up seeing Ava. Um, I think what she's going to probably do is she's going to probably wind up knocking out Johnny, because it didn't really make a lot of sense for her to sit like, ha 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 ha, I'm going to blow up the place and everyone in it and Nicole and yada 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 yada. But I'm just like, this whole trying to get one over on EJ and kill him and take out his mom, it's just, I know it gives the character something to do, and I think that's great, but I'm just thinking that this whole plan is so stupid. Like, it's so dumb and so unnecessary. You kidnapped her mother, you drove off a cliff, you supposedly killed her, but apparently that's not enough. It's just so stupid. Like, it's so dumb. Um, Let me make sure. I think that's pretty much about it. There was one funny part that happened in this episode, but of course, Kristen had to find a way to ruin it. So Kristen comes back. Mary took her ruler and started, hitting him in her hand. Hit Brady on the hand. When she came in, she found out what happened. She was damn near in tears. And I'm not gonna lie, that part was funny. Okay, that part was funny, and eventually even Brady laughed at the whole thing. So it was a nice, good, funny moment. Um, but Kristen being Kristen got to sit there and take it left and be like, oh, well, what if it was me? And it was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I was like, whatever. Here's the thing. I feel like if Kristen wouldn't push so hard, the woman that Brady fell in love with, she didn't evaporate. Okay, this wasn't like a personality or anything like that. The woman that he fell in love with is still there. Kristen is her own worst enemy, like most of us are. And instead of just having things happen in a natural, slow pace, um, she decided to take it and push a lot of stuff. And this is why, bro. Listen, Kristen, I rock with you. I do, but you do things that just you push too much. She would have came in there. They would have had time with their daughter. They would have had a good laugh or whatever. She wouldn't have pushed so much. He probably would have saw why he fell in love with her in the first place. Chloe already moved on. Why not? No, she got to sit there and just. So, there's that whole thing. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. This episode is better than yesterday. I didn't do a review on it yesterday because there was nothing really to talk about. Like, nothing really. Nothing really happened yesterday. It was so. I felt like it was so boring that there was just no point even really sitting there talking about it. Like, what really happened? You know. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.